Okay, so for any new interpreters under sign language interpreting or transliteration, here is a video for the team, for the individual learning how to spend time alone and to find confidence in your own knowledge and how to locate that and find a way like using it in grammar, in English, so that you can trust what you are saying, speaking, when you may think it's a little difficult, and it is, to take in sign language and take in someone else's someone else's culture, background, etc. So, let's start here. Alright, so best way that I know how to be more confident in sign language is to first off use sign language. And I have taken upon myself to learn about something that I enjoy. I love philosophy and I love math. I'm a nerd. I love math theory. I love theories. So here is a video that I recorded myself that is 43 minutes long. So for 43 minutes, I am going back and forth between math and Asian philosophy, because I grew up learning about Asians. I was born in Mexico, and I enjoy all the culture that comes along with the people of Mexico. There are many ethnic groups in Mexico that descend from all forms of Oriental backgrounds. Check out the topic. Anyways, so I talk a little bit about it. Talk about Asian culture and math. So I have gone through short segments. So that means I have a background of what I am saying, what the topic is, and how far into discussing that topic do I go before changing and moving forward towards a different portion of that topic. So here is one video from the very beginning. See? 1 second. And so on. Okay, once again, on screen it says, alright, starting from the beginning. and it is 1 minute and 4 seconds long. That is a lot of context for what the discussion is about. Okay, so then I move forward to the 2nd minute, and here is almost 2 minutes of more context. All right, so that is more information that is sequential. It goes from math topic to an additional amount of that topic. And now there is the same amount in this. See? More college math theory. Sweet. This one is only 41 seconds. But it does add to make sure that all 3 videos relate. So now, this new one here, we bring in the word abstract. Okay. All right. So there is the word art. All right. We must not be talking about math now. So now that we are not talking about math and we have introduced art, now this becomes philosophical. And I'm discussing Asian culture. So now it is no longer art related alone. It is philosophical, a philosophy under Asian culture, and it is not math anymore. The only thing relating this topic to math is the probabilities. The probability and the percentage of how much of this philosophy actually takes hold of a group. So an Asian group and an amount of population under that Asian group or that Asian country or territory. So now we go back here. And we are going to discuss now that we know how to think about sequential information, now we can relate to the signer. Yes, it actually does take probably 1, 2, 3 videos, or this is about 5-6 minutes of very dense topics for you, the interpreter, or the person who is transliterating, who needs to interpret first in their head and then turn it into words in transliteration. Now you can proceed and go to a segment of what was recorded. So either you or another ASL user, this is without any prior transliteration, and this is you going through the video so that you can attach this new concept into English grammar, English words. You may be asking, how do I know when to stop? Right? Because this is a 43-minute video. Look at this. 43 minutes. Okay, this is why we call it practice. Because the practice here is for you to not start translating or interpreting yet. This is you individually just paying attention to the signer. So you are possibly going to have to go through this 43-minute video, okay? And you're not going to receive the whole message, right? Not even enough to fulfill the 1 minute or the 2 minutes accurately until you know what this whole video is about. Because this is a heavy topic, and it is in a mindset of already someone going to a college lecture for maybe 2-3 months, and you are now experiencing a signer discussing this topic. So you do actually have to go through 43 minutes and just watch the signer and learn what is being discussed. Once you understand what the topic is, and typically someone will actually tell you what it is. They will tell you, yes, you are going to be watching a video of a signer taking a class, and this is the topic. Or they'll say, hey, you are going to be watching a signer with this level of background in social media, and this is a subject topic they decided to post about. you don't necessarily have to watch other videos of the signer. You just have to learn what the topic is about. And yes, it does mean that your knowledge does have to match knowing about that topic subject. So when someone hires you, it means they hire you because of what you know and how much you know. So knowing about art, that's a broad topic. Okay, philosophy, that's a broad topic. Math is a broad topic. That makes things pretty difficult. So, you have to find something that you enjoy learning about and believe that it will not have you rolling down a hill steaming in case it becomes political. Because you do not want your mind to be your own head. No, you still have to put yourself aside and make sure you capture what the signer is discussing and bringing into the room. Not what you already think you know from what you've researched, not from what's on the news. You can keep that at a close distance if it doesn't bother you or disrupt the message. But if the signer brings up news, then of course go through your memory bank and make sure that you keep it there in close proximity so that the signer, if they bring up something that has been on the news or on a social platform, that you can identify what is being brought to the discussion. So, I know the beginning can be complicated, but it helps when you are calm, because being calm means that your memory can rest. You and your memory can rest and keep you more focused. And it means that you are confident in what you have recently or have always had in forms of things you can remember. So, look at that. All right. This is practice in form of much more ASL related compared to English sign or sign in English word order of grammar structure. I am not signing in English word grammar structure or English grammar structure. I am signing in ASL or more towards deaf sign. Deaf spatial sign. Alright. So we are going to return to this right here. One video, once that information, right, I'm hearing in my head sort of kind of finally, right? Because I want to suppress my words in my head and capture what I just saw and feel confident, feel the message. Okay? Give confidence to my eyes to hold the signer and any message that they are providing. And then after something in my head clicks and says, okay, I see the signer and what they are providing me, and my mind is chunking them into a visual description, because sign is spatial when it's more deaf sign or some form of I don't like to call it American Sign Language because it's not, this isn't necessarily like a sentence textbook ASL class sentence by sentence. It's more deaf contextual spatial concept topic, and that's why I said you have to know what the 43 minutes are about and the level is being discussed and the setting, so that you can put those things together. And I'm providing you an example of what the words would look like in a college setting, maybe first or second year in one of these classes. Typically, a high schooler has to pass a college credit class in high school or a college prep class of a subject like math or philosophy or psychology or English, or they take an advanced class of any of those subjects to be able to understand the first or second year of this type of college class. So there we go. That is the first discussion about how to organize yourselves mentally before moving on to the actual part where your words come in and you trust what you are thinking and you start putting them into words. So now you get to chunk and decide the amount and the context. So the amount of how much you want to chunk into a paragraph, and how much of it you are going to find it contextually in a video So here I'm opening up the editing app, Splice here, and where I want to place it. So after I have picked the amount of the video where I want to have it segmented. So here's practically 33 seconds, and from the very first 8 seconds, this is where I'm going to relate my words and the words made into the concept and where I want it to be in the video, because we are beginning here a topic about art, about artwork. And the message that is being signed stops there when discussing the abstract realism in a dragon totem, okay? You didn't see the word dragon, but it relates to Asia and the modern let's see, it's not really a brand, but it's starting to be more popular in American culture. So there is a lot now having to do with dragons, like How to Train Your Dragon, how to find the color of the dragon that your personality associates with or your family associates with, all that stuff. And wearing the abstract realism is typically associated with a dragon form or a fish form. And if you didn't know, a dragon and a fish in Asia are alike. So in this video, see, it says dragon. It says dragon. But there were more specific details to how to describe what or how important this dragon artwork or the dragon philosophy is. So it's best to leave it to more description, and that is because that's just part of the extra knowledge that I focused on. So I know, maybe people didn't tell you guys, but it is a lot of extra time learning about different topics. So you practically have to pick like 4 or 5 different topics and read a little bit about each one. And if you really like them, right, you are going to keep on reading about those 4 or 5 topics without getting bored or tired of them, and within a year or 2, you actually should have enough knowledge, enough broad knowledge to participate in interpreting or transliteration with a very strong foundation in your basics, which is a year or 2, and that's just the beginning. So, after the first 2 years, people can't really say you don't know about those 4 or 5 subjects. So it's cool to read, or it's cool to watch educational videos out there, and don't just stick with TED Talks. Go and search a topic out there. There's so many on YouTube. There are lectures, there are educational college level YouTube videos. I don't really read the topics on other blogs or the websites or any of that. I kind of need information a little quicker than that. I'm kind of a slow reader, so I like a quicker pace, or else I'm just stuck there for hours and I only read what I know. Does that make sense? So like if I chunk it and I see words that I recognize, I read that, which stops me from learning something new. So there we go. That's the description. Don't be a perfectionist. Don't stay stuck or hung up. And don't believe that you're perfectly stuck, because that is all an illusion, not true to being a hard worker and getting through the tough times so that you as a person, as an individual, can flourish and be better than you were the day before. And don't think that in terms of the year before, you can always be a better person from one day to the next. Alright, that is what I have for y'all. And there we go. I am still losing hair from time to time, okay? But that's because of my own oh my gosh. My own stuff. Like buying the wrong conditioner or shampoo. But I will find one of these days, and guess what? You know what? I'm starting to believe that I don't need to use that many chemicals on my scalp because I left my hair without washing it with any chemicals and just leaving it there for about a week or more, and the oils actually stick, and my hair actually looks healthier and not like a very bleached fried piece of real hair that went on too long. So there, accomplishments.